Item number SCP-1529. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1529's native environment is to be kept under telescope and satellite surveillance whenever weather and daylight permit. Year-round telescope surveillance is to be conducted from the Foundation's permanent monitoring stations in Nepal and People's Republic of China. As early in the year as weather permits, a Foundation front company, South Chumulunga Portage, shall establish forward monitoring stations at the base camp on the north and southern ascents, and the higher camps as weather permits, with the exception of Camp the northern and southern ascents. Northern ascent and the Camp 5, I think, on the southern, to be maintained until other conditions force the evacuation of the mountain for the season. When SCP-1529 is active, telescope surveillance will be conducted by means of automatic telescope with a video feed playing at 7 seconds delay to avoid a repeat of Incident 1529-2. When the necessary and safe surveillance shall be conducted by airplane or helicopter. The Foundation shall release the civilian expedition coordinates as necessary to prevent attempts on the summit, or when SCP-1529 is active. The bodies of hikers who encounter SCP-1529 are to be removed from the mountain as soon as possible for autopsy and disposal. All SCP-1529 related casualties shall be attributed to natural causes relating to altitude sickness or hyperthermia. Any survivors and or witnesses are to be debriefed and administered a Class B amnesic. Mobile Task Force PSI 29029 Alpine Echo shall remain on standby at all times at the Foundation monitoring station in during hours of duty. All members of the MTF shall remain at all times in a pressurized environment, visualized to 7,900 meters above sea level. In the event the recurrence incident 1529-1 occurs, Alpine Echo shall deploy to the mountain by helicopter and attempt procedure Bokirov, I think. Description: SCP-1529 is a humanoid individual residing near the summit of Mount Everest in Nepal. Above the 8,000-meter death zone mark, where human action is believed to be impossible. SCP-1529 appears to be average height and weight, and is dressed head to toe in what resembles standard mountaineering wear and boots colored white. SCP-1529's face is entirely obscured by the hood of parka and what appears to be an oversized pair of black mountain goggles. SCP-1529 has never been observed to wear any other clothes, and as few living people have observed 1529 except through a telescope. It is not known its coverings of the clothes or its body, or may look like underneath, except as per interview 1529-1. The Foundation became aware of SCP-1529 in the 1970s when annual expeditions to the summit of Mount Everest became a commonplace. Rumors began to circulate in the mountaineering community about a monster near the summit. Photographs of undeveloped a George Mallory's camera after discovery. His remains in 1999 indicate SCP-1529 was present and active by the time of his attempt on the summit, and was not then significantly different in the appearance of what it is today. Foundation media assets have been reported at Mallory's camera was never found, and that his death was a result of a fall. Hold on 1 minute. Oh my god, it's long. During periods when daylight is softened and the cloud cover allows for surveillance of the mountain, SCP-1529 is on average observable percent of the time. 4% of the time that SCP-1529 is inactive and lies or sits motionless. Recorded periods of inactivity have extended from 15 to 17 minutes to go possibly 8 months. Median period of inactivity is 23.4 days. When active, SCP-1529 is there to climb about upper reaches of the mountain and summit in no discernible direction. SCP-1529 has never been observed to use any tools or climbing aids other than its hands and feet. It's kind of impressive if it was a real person. Just comments I'll put out now. And while traveling along established climate routes, it will ignore the existence of guide ropes or ladders that have been installed by previous climbers. SCP-1529 has demonstrated the ability to climb or descend sections of the mountain's face believed to impassable to conventional mountaineers. Has never been able to observe to fall or lose its grip, and seemingly unencumbered by sub-zero temperatures, high winds, thin air, or low atmospheric pressure. The cause of its becoming active or inactive is unknown. It shows no correlation to weather, time of day, traffic up the mountain, season, or time of year. SCP-1529 has never been observed to descend below the 8,000 meter mark, except as per Incident 1529-1. Documented periods of the activity is extended from 3 hours to possibly 6 days. Documented period is 15.2 hours. Nighttime observation of SCP-1529 has thus far proved impossible. Infrared imaging has shown no difference in the temperature between 1529 and the surrounding mountainside. If human climbers ascend past the 8,000 meter mark while SCP-1529 is active, it will attempt to make its way towards them and interpose itself between them and the summit or camp. SCP-1529 seems to prefer to target. So it will begin to target solo climbers or climbers that are significantly ahead or beyond the rest of their group, but will target individuals of the group if such an opportunity does not present itself. Once SCP-1529 is within eyesight of travel, attempt to gain his/her attention, and this will cause the traveler to make eye contact with it, which induces a hypnotic effect in the victim. Victim finds it very difficult to break eye contact. Yet with SCP-1529, they'll begin to feel very warm and comfortable, and enticed to sit down and relax. Once the climber has stopped moving, SCP-1529 will close range with the climber, and data expunged. Death from hyperthermia appears to occur between 1 to 2 hours of making eye contact with SCP-1529, much more quickly than it is for typical climbers to get stuck near the summit. After death, SCP-1529 victims experience an extremely accelerated state of decay. After several hours or days, bodies have become rotted and mummified in levels comparable to bodies that have been laying exposed on the mountain for several decades. Of the approximately 220 people have died in the high altitudes of Everest since 1924. SCP-1529 is believed to have accounted for at least people have survived encounters with SCP-1529, almost all except, as per interview 1529-1, due to another mountaineer assisting the victim before SCP-1529 made physical eye contact. SCP-1529 does not appear to be capable of trancing any more than one climber at a time. However, physical encounters between 92, I get confused, and more than one person have been noted to lead. Data expunged. Purpose and motivation for SCP-1529's behavior is unknown. See interview 1529-1 for speculation. Incident 1529-1 on 19 SCP-1529 and entered Camp V on the northern approach at 7,775 meters, and data expunged. Casualties occurred, including both Foundation personnel operating the Camp V monitoring post. Foundation assets and the media attributed the deaths to a sudden storm and poor planning on part of the expedition coordinator, who was among the deceased. SCP-1529 had not been observation at the time due to its having entered active phase sometime during the night, and had not yet located on a telescope. This is the first and only documented instance of SCP-1529 traveling below the 8,000 meter mark or entering any camp while inhabited. Incident 1529-2 on 20 Agent in the permanent facility in China engaged in telescope surveillance of SCP-1529 while it was near the summit of the mountain. Reported that SCP-1529, while facing in the direction of the base, looked directly in the direction of the telescope. Immediately reported syndrome consistent with SCP-1529 encounter and reported that SCP-1529 has begun descending the mountain in the direction of the permanent facility. Was unable to pull himself away from the telescope, and he had finally manually restrained and sedated 17 minutes after beginning of encounter, whereupon he was rushed to facility sickbay and found to have a core body temperature of 27 Celsius and the signs of frostbite in the fingers and toes, despite having remained indoors at room temperature 24 Celsius. For the duration of the encounter, Agent who attempted to resume surveillance after illness found SCP-1529 still descending from the mountain and encountered similar symptoms. Telescope surveillance was discontinued until when aerial surveillance confirmed that SCP-1529 had ceased to descend and had entered in an active state. Interviewed. L. Hereafter L. Oh, Dr. L, probably. Interviewer, Agent on 20. L was reportedly killed during an encounter with SCP-1529 when it abruptly became active shortly after L had reached the mountain's summit. However, L was found alive when another team reached his position nearly 2 days later. He was removed safely from the mountain. And the following is an expert from L's debriefing prior to his discharge from hospital. Tell me about what happened to when you encountered the creature. L. It can't have been more than 10 minutes after I left the summit. About 1,300. That's the hardest part of the climb. You reach the top, you're exhilarated and proud about yourself, and realize you've just done the most difficult thing you've ever done in your life. You have to do it all over again, backwards. End up like green boots. The others were 5 or 6 meters ahead of me. I delayed a moment to adjust my hood. That's when I saw it come over the ridge. What was your reaction when you first saw it? Oh, surprised, to say the least. We hadn't been told there was anyone else climbing to the top that day, and I must have thought you'd come over from the other side, or gotten left behind by his mates. I tried and waved my hand in the air, trying to get his attention. What happened when you got his attention? L. You looked right at me. That's when I started to suddenly happy, relieved. It was like all away the pain, soreness, and chill was gone. I didn't have any blisters on my feet. I could feel the tip of my nose again. It's like I was back in kicking up my feet by the fireplace. Like I could forget all my worries and enjoy a well-deserved rest. But L. It didn't feel right. You ever heard of paradoxical undressing? When your body starts to cool down, really down, blood vessels dilate, when you start to feel like you're warming up, so you start tearing off your clothes because you feel like you're burning up and you need to cool off. Next thing everyone knows, you're naked, frozen to death, curled into a snowbank. I had a mate who went that way in 1998. As far as I know, he's still curled up next to the Hillary step. So you believed you were imagining it. Right. Right. So I tried to shrug it off, but I couldn't take my eyes off the man who'd started climbing up towards me. And that's when it all went to expletive. Because I don't want to say that word. How so? L. Right away, all that warmth, comfort was gone. Suddenly I felt cold. Colder than I ever been before. Colder than I had a right to be. I couldn't feel my fingers or my face. My lips felt cracked and frozen. I tried to breathe. It was like my lungs were full of water. My legs were cramped, and the next thing I knew, I was down. My mates were almost 30 meters off by now. I tried to yell, but all that came out was a whisper. I looked up, and that man, that thing, was still coming. How long did it take it for it to reach you? An hour? Not sure. I couldn't see my watch, and I don't think I could have made sense of it anyways. I managed to get my arms on the ground, but I couldn't push myself. Getting to the point where I couldn't even. I could write myself. I even could write myself. I just wouldn't be able to make it back to camp before nightfall. I started to think I wasn't making it off the mountain at all. But what worried me more was the man. He got closer to me. I started to feel something in the back of my head. Something primal and menacing. And above all, hateful. What happened when it reached you? Oh, it grabbed me by my shoulders, pulled me up to face it. And I was looking right into those goggles, those eyes. Are they goggles or eyes? Neither, both, I don't know. I felt like I could see things in them. Not really. Not see them. So much more like feel them. Images and feelings in the back of my mind, rage and joy and confusion. Confusion? No, I don't think I was used to people resisting it. It asked me a question. It spoke? It spoke? L. Not words so much. I could hear it, but not with my ears. Some images, people sitting back, hot tubs laying by crackling fires, sunning themselves on the beach. Warm, happy people. But I knew their faces. They were people I'd seen in books. And in pictures I'd seen up the mountain who I hadn't seen. Way down. I saw green boots. People lying face down somewhere in the death zone. And I heard its question. Which was? L. You refuse my gift. L. Became very troubled at this moment. The interview was quiet for some time. Silent. Go on. L. I could barely make sense of anything that was going on. But I knew this thing in front of me was a bigger threat than any storm, any snowdrift. Moving my lips was harder than anything I had done. But I did. I told it left. Yes. How did it respond? L. I saw more images of the people lying in snow, already half dead. I could tell I was looking at them from its perspective. It was that expunged them. I could have been sick. I didn't say anything to it, but it was angry at me. It was offended, outraged, shocked. It was trying to tell me I had been ungrateful. Instead of relaxing peacefully while that expunge, I'd have to feel every minute of it. I asked, "Why are you doing this?" What did it say? It mocked me. L was silent again. Just a few more questions. How did it mock you? L. It showed me another one of its victims, probably the first one. Mallory, 1924. I'd have known that face like my own mother's. I'd seen it in a detail before, or in that condition. He was on his stomach, weak, frostbitten, dying. He was waving, hollering at the thing. As I watched it approach its own perspective. It looked him in the eyes, and that expunged. It made me watch every second until it was done. I think watching it was worse than living. It would have been. It told me. It was silent. Told you what? L. Because it's there. What happened next? L. I wasn't going to let data expunged happen to me, so holding up, I had enough strength to ball up my fist. I punched it as hard as I can. every last ounce of strength I had. Right in the goggles. They cracked. I can see what was behind them. What was that? That expunged? I don't remember much of that. I must have gotten it in my bivvy's bag somehow, because that's how they found me. And log. Closing statement. After L's encounter, SCP-1529 was not observed, active or inactive, for 5 months, 17 days, 19 hours. Upon next observation, its goggles showed no signs of damage, or wear. L passed away on 20. Foundation media assets reported that the cause of death was due to complications from childhood episodes. An autopsy performed by the Foundation indicated that L was suffering with extreme hypothermia, frostbite, and cerebral anemia at the time. L had retired from mountaineering following SCP-1529 encounter and not traveled more than 500 meters above sea level in the 12 months preceding his death. Addendum. On 20, aerial surveillance picked up an image of an individual of similar appearance to SCP-1529 near the summit of as government has prohibited the mountaineering threat to normalcy of negligible at this time. Aerial and satellite surveillance of will continue on a regular basis until permanent monitoring stations can be established. Footnotes. 1. English mountaineer perished 1924, possibly becoming the first man to reach the summit of Everest. 2. Nickname given to body due to Sweat Pajigda, who had distinct green pair mountain boots, collapsed and died on the mountain trail on the northern approach in 1996. A sheer rock face on the summit of the southmost approach, named Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to successfully traverse it in 1953. Quote attributed to Mallory in the New York Times, 1923, when it asked why he wanted to climb Mount Everest. Now, this is a very interesting SCP, in a way, like, with all the things that's happened to it and people that they saw. Just the fact that it's like, hey buddy, look at my eyes. Then they feel all cozy, like, yeah, I'm just gonna, yep, good thing. But turns out you're just on Mount Everest, dying of hypothermia. Great. Yeah, so I'd just like to say before I end the video, this is becoming an SCP channel for the 90 days or 3 months that I'm going to be stream forbidden. So this is SCP channel now. So cool, I guess, if you guys like daily SCP videos. And either way, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!